A letter from Hogwarts. I heard Professor McGonagall has an announcement to make. I wonder what it is. I don't know, Andre. One year ends, another begins. What adventures will be the next year bring? Nice poem, by the way, Penny. I'm not involved in whatever Professor McGonagall is planning, and I don't plan to be. Hello, Professor Dumbledore. Welcome, students. This is truly a special time. Another year at Hogwarts is nearly over. Actually, my year just ended. Started, and a new term will soon begin. Before long, Hogwarts acceptance letters will be sent to magical children all over Britain and Ireland. Those lucky children will join the school as first years, just as you once did. It is a bright and memorable day for any young witch and wizard when they receive their invitation to Hogwarts. But nothing lasts forever. For some of you, this may be your final year as a Hogwarts student. I think it's available in year 3 or year 4 or something. The rest of you will continue your magical education in the new town, 1 year older and 1 hope wiser. For all of you, trust in the knowledge that the friends and memories you have made at Hogwarts will last a lifetime. Yeah. With that in mind, I invite you to cherish memories of the past as you consider the new adventures that's awaiting. And stay alert for a special announcement from Professor McGonagall at the end of your meal. I still remember the day I received my Hogwarts acceptance letter. I bet my friends have interesting stories about when they received their letters too. It seems like nearly everyone remembers the moment they received their invitation to Hogwarts. I will say I still remember how excited I was when my letter came. I couldn't wait to get here and start exploring the castle and destroy it with dog bombs. Right, Tulip? What were you most looking forward to when you got your Hogwarts acceptance letter, Autumn Ray? I was most excited about looking for my brother and finding the truth about what happened to him. I respect your knack for solving mysteries, Autumn Ray, not to mention your dedication to your family. If not for you, your brother Jacob would still be trapped in a portrait. Talking about Hogwarts acceptance letters bring up so many memories. After using magic for the first time, my capacity to cause chaos grew considerably, and you are proud of that. But then again, if I had never shown any magical talent, I would never have earned a spot in the Book of Admittance. You do know about the Book of Admittance, right, Autumn Ray? Yes, I know about the Book of Admittance. It's a magical book that contains the names of every student who has ever been invited to Hogwarts. You know your stuff, Autumn Ray. It's quite the mysterious artifact, and it has been here since forever. What about the Quill of Acceptance? Do you know what it does? The Quill of Acceptance writes the name of new Hogwarts students in the Book of Admittance. That's right, together the book and quill create a match set. They are some of the most mysterious magical artifacts in all of Hogwarts. When a child uses magic for the first time, they earn a spot in the Book of Admittance. How do they know that? And everyone whose name is written in the Book of Admittance gets an invitation to Hogwarts. That means everyone here must have performed magic as a child in order to get a spot in the book. Exactly, Autumn Ray. A talented witch like you probably did something pretty impressive to get a spot in the Book of Admittance. Do you know what it was? The first bit of real magic you ever performed. Now that you mention it, I'm not quite clear on that. Thank you for your patience, students. As you all know, the Quill of Acceptance and Book of Admittance are nearly finished with their annual task. They are recording the names of magical children who will be invited to Hogwarts next year. When their work is done, we will be ready to begin preparing next year's Hogwarts acceptance letters. Therefore, I am now accepting volunteers to help with this task. All who participate will gain my personal thanks, but act quickly. Spots are limited. It's like she's selling stuff. If you want to learn more about how Hogwarts invites new students, now is your chance certainly. Sounds like volunteering to help with Hogwarts acceptance letters may be worth checking out. I can't wait to learn more about how Hogwarts sends out its acceptance letters. I knocked over a whole bunch of Professor Sprout's best pots and came here to hide. What's going on? Tongs, you clumsy friend of mine. Hello, Autumn. I trust you came to volunteer too? Yes, I did, Ben. Professor McGonagall, hey. Hello. And all of my friends are here. Well, at least some of them. There are more people here than I expected. Miss Ray, thank you for coming. Now let us begin. All of you here are about to embark on an exciting adventure. Oh yeah, I'm excited. As you know, I am the deputy headmistress of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. It is my duty to manage the process of preparing and delivering Hogwarts acceptance letters every year. But I will need the help of dedicated volunteers like you to ensure there are no hiccups. We will begin by outlining the process. Listen closely. Let me see if I understand this right. This all starts when you transcribe the names of magical children from the Book of Admittance. Precisely, Miss Ray. The children listed in the book have displayed enough magical talent to gain an invitation to Hogwarts. But new students are not the only ones who get a letter from Hogwarts prior to a new term. Can any of you tell me what returning students will find in their Hogwarts letter? Every returning student gets a letter telling them what supplies they need for next year's lessons. That is correct, Miss Ray. I am glad to see that you are paying attention. Both new and returning students must be properly equipped for the lesson scrum. That's where volunteers like you come in. Oh, is that so? I will send each of you to retrieve lists of needed spellbooks and supplies from every Hogwarts professor. After that, you will aid in the writing, packaging and delivery of the letters themselves. Each step of the process is its own fascinating adventure. Tell me, which step do you find the most intriguing? I'm most interested to know how we are going to write and deliver so many letters. We don't have to write them all by hand, right? Take heart, Miss Ray. Your wrists are safe. Madam Pince has created a process of quickly and efficiently writing, folding and stamping each letter. It's quite an impressive operation once you see it. What about delivering the letters? The Hogwarts wolves will deliver the letters themselves. Your help will be needed to ensure they are adequately prepared for their journeys. Muggle-born children who are unfamiliar with our world will get their letters from Hogwarts representatives. I never knew there was so much involved in sending out Hogwarts acceptance letters. It is no small task, Miss Ray, but with all of us working together, the process should not be difficult. When will you be leaving to collect the names of next year's new students from the Book of Admittance? Very soon. In fact, I will visit the small locked tower that contains the book and quill at the end of this meeting. Can I come with you? I am afraid you cannot, Miss Ray. No student has ever entered the small locked tower nor seen the book and quill inside. But please meet me in the corridor upon my return. I have a special request to make of you. Professor McGonagall asked me to wait for her here. She said she had a request to make of me. I wonder what it could be. Professor Dumbledore, what are you doing here? Miss Ray, what a delight it is to find you here. Hello, Professor Dumbledore. I was just waiting for Professor McGonagall. She is visiting the small locked tower to get the list of children who will be invited to Hogwarts next year. Ah, so you must be one of Minerva's diligent volunteers. Some of our brightest students did much the same in their day. I am just returning from the small locked tower myself. Really? What were you doing up there? Nothing significant. I occasionally spend some quiet hours up there trying to catch the book and quill in action. Did you see anything? Like he will tell me. Unfortunately not. The Quill of Acceptance and Book of Admittance seem to have completed their work. When Minerva discovered me up there, she promptly kicked me out. She did? Our deputy headmistress takes her duties regarding Hogwarts acceptance letters very seriously. I will say she was just explaining all the steps of the process. There is so much to do. I do appreciate her dedication and the dedication of helpful volunteers like you. Receiving an invitation to Hogwarts is one of the most impactful moments in the life of a young witch or wizard. It's important to get these sorts of things right. Professor McGonagall said she had a request for me. Do you know what it could be? I suspect you will find out soon enough. You must be curious about our school's unique process for selecting new students. Yes, I am. I knew about the Book of Admittance and Quill of Acceptance already, but there is a lot I still don't know. The Book of Quill are so mysterious. No one seems to know how they work. If they hadn't chosen me, I would have never gotten my invitation to Hogwarts and met all of my friends. The book and Quill are among Hogwarts' greatest mysteries, but I may be able to shed some light on how they work if you like. Really? Thanks, Professor. Certainly Minerva will have joined us by the time we have through. Please do. Very well, I will tell you all I can. Our deputy headmistress arrives as predicted. Hello, Professor McGonagall. Miss Ray, thank you for waiting. Miss Ray and I were just discussing the mysteries of the book and Quill. I see. Well, don't let me interrupt. Please finish your discussion. So the Quill of Acceptance and the Book of Admittance work together? They certainly do, Miss Ray. The Quill of Acceptance senses every magical child in Britain and Ireland and tries to record their names. But the book is more selective and will snap short if the child in question has not shown true magical abilities. In this way, the book and Quill work together to ensure every Hogwarts student has genuine magical potential. And they do this by performing magic? Yes, any display of magic will do. Most children perform their first spell without even realizing it. But who made the book and Quill? What sort of magic was used to enchant them? The book and Quill date back to the very founding of Hogwarts. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. The rest, as they say, is a mystery. But you are not one to let a good mystery lie, are you? Not usually. How do you feel about the prospect of not getting all the answers to your questions about the book and Quill? I think it's better as a mystery. That way I can always wonder about it, and whatever I imagine will likely be more interesting than the truth. That's quite fascinating attitude, Miss Ray. Keep hold of that imagination of yours. It will surely guide you through many challenges in life. I must admit that the secrets of the book and Quill can occasionally come as a relief. Some parents get quite upset when their children are not invited to Hogwarts. When they come to me with their grievances, I bemoan the mysteries of the book and Quill, and they are quelled. Even if we will never know their secrets, I am still glad the book and Quill chose me to be invited to Hogwarts. You must have displayed true magical talent as a child to earn your invitation. Do you recall what it was you did? I wish I could. I remember some things, but I'm not sure on when, where, or what my first display of magic was. I see. Well, take heart, Miss Ray. While some mysteries such as those of book and Quill may remain unexplained, the question of what you did to demonstrate your magical talent is one you can certainly answer. I hope so. Thanks, Professor Dumbledore. I agree with our headmaster on this, Miss Ray, and I encourage you to uncover the truth of your past. Understanding the roots of your magical aptitude will aid you in informing new students of their own, especially with the important role you will be taking in the Hogwarts acceptance letter process. Important role? Every year I select one of my most gifted students to serve as my eyes and ears. You mean a spy? This year I have chosen you. I will be relying on you to ensure that everything goes smoothly. You can count on me, Professor. Very good. I'll be in touch soon. In the meantime, I encourage you to try and uncover the secrets of your past. Perhaps a friend could help. Tulip and I were talking about this earlier. She may know something that could help me clarify my first spell. Hi, Autumn Ray. Hey, Tulip. So, you volunteered to help Professor McGonagall with Hogwarts acceptance letters, eh? I did. She even gave me a special role. I'll be Professor McGonagall's eyes and ears throughout the process. Oh, Autumn Ray, you are such a good student. I would never be able to do that sort of thing. I'm sure you would manage if you wanted to, but there is something I keep thinking about. I'm still unclear on what my own first use of magic was. Professor Dumbledore seems to think I can figure it out. And Professor McGonagall even said it would make me a better volunteer. I was wondering if you could tell me more about your first magical moment. Perhaps it could give me a clue to discovering my first display of magic. I see. I would love to help you, Autumn Ray, but is something wrong? It's just that I don't usually tell people the whole story. Did you get into trouble? No, I wouldn't care if that were the case. I suppose I might as well tell you everything. Friends can tell each other secrets after all. Whatever your secret is, I will keep it between us. You can trust me. Alright then, it happened one night after my parents came home from a long day at the ministry. Your first spell was to counter your parents' imperturbable charm. I couldn't stand it when they left me out of things, so I tried to eavesdrop on them from another room. A very Tulip'S thing to do, naturally. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't make out my parents' conversation. It was like they were muffled. What did you do? I just kept focusing on the sounds, and then suddenly I could hear everything they were saying. You broke their spell? That's right. I must have cast a counter spell without even knowing it. What were your parents talking about? They were complaining about the ministry letting former Death Eaters back into the fold. After the Wizarding War, many former Death Eaters were allowed back with barely a slap on the wrist. Why would they do that? Because they were rich and connected. My parents didn't like it, and neither did I. I had a hard time trusting the ministry after that, and most forms of authority, to be honest. So that's how you became the Tulip'S I know. I suppose so. But for the longest time, I couldn't use magic at all. I was worried I would never be able to do it. It must have been hard. It was. You can imagine why I don't tell this story very often. I don't like admitting that I am a late magical bloomer. Taking so long to demonstrate my magical ability is a little embarrassing. I don't think you have anything to be embarrassed about, Tulip. You learned magic when it was right for you. The fact that it took you longer than some doesn't make you any less of a witch. Thanks, Autumn Ray. That makes me feel a little better. I eventually learned that lots of witches and wizards don't show their magical ability until later in their childhoods. For me, it wasn't until I was in a situation when I really wanted something that my magic finally emerged. Perhaps it was the same for you. Your first use of magic might have invoked strong feelings too. You may be right. That does sound rather familiar. Thanks, Tulip. This was helpful. If hearing my story was helpful, perhaps you should ask your other friends as well. Good idea. I will probably meet with lots of students and professors as I help with Hogwarts acceptance letters. I will listen to their stories about the first time they used magic. Hopefully it will help me clarify my own. Tell me how it goes. I want to know what you find out. I will. Thanks, Tulip. I should be going. Professor McGonagall will need my help with Hogwarts acceptance letters soon. I wonder who I should ask next about their first use of magic.
Thanks for watching. Bye.